All right, welcome to Gen X Rated Thursday edition. How we doing, Billy?
Man, I don't know. A little confused. The world seems a little bit topsy-turvy. I mean, the Pirates get swept by the worst team in baseball
The White Sox.
last week, and then they turn around and sweep the best team in the American League, Detroit. So I don't know what to think anymore.
Pretty crazy. That hasn't happened in 45 years. Padres did it, but it is unheard of. And the Pirates on that homestand swept three out of the four series, except that fourth series where they were swept.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's crazy. And
Definitely.
apparently the Steelers season's over already. Aaron Rodgers threw a pick six in his first uh, training camp pass. So worst deal ever. Get him out of there. Cancel the season.
Well, and the other half of that is that Fields with the Jets on his first play, somebody stepped on his toe. I think he has a dislocated toe. Good news is it wasn't his Achilles, so he's day to day. Looked a lot worse at the time, but
Yeah, hopefully it's not serious. I'd like to see him do well.
yeah, me too. Hot as Hades here. I'm sure you've been outside today. It's pretty unbelievable, honestly.
It's insane. And apparently the heat dome is going to hang around over the country through the end of July.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah. So it's I think it's going to start like east and move to cover like the Midwest. So yeah, temperatures are going to be very hot. A lot of
I don't know
humidity.
how I don't know how you manage without, and I don't mean you in particular, but air conditioning. I mean, it's. I walk the dog several times a day, and I just come back. I need that cold air. I mean, I can't imagine having a warm fan blowing on me and not air conditioning.
Yeah, it's crazy. And and especially now that were you telling me that they're cutting Trump wants to cut public assistance for utilities?
Yeah, the federal low income home energy assistance program he'd like to cut. And I just had a few numbers in Missouri because that's the coverage that I'm getting. But you're looking at 130,000 households that he wants to take money from. Um, at the same time, we've approved gas rates to be jacked up about 12%. So that's about $13 a month, which is about $1,100 a year per household. So let's make sure the utilities get their money, but
Hmm.
we're not going to help the people that need it the most. In this program, the 2023, they distributed $136 million in Missouri, which comes out to about $675 per household. A third of those homes had elderly people in them. Half those homes included the disabled. But Trump wants to cut that $4 billion. Now, he does have a plan. He'd like to support the low income individuals. Instead of households, let's do it to individuals. And basically, the way we're going to do that is energy dominance, because we're number one. We're not, we're number nine, but lower prices and the America First platform. So that and this might keep you cool. I don't know.
Yeah, what does that even mean? That just sounds like a basic Trump word salad. I mean, it's
Very
insane.
good.
It's really insane, and it's just it's just the cruelty. This guy is out of his gourd.
Pretty much.
He's a very cruel and nasty person.
Well, and it's one thing raising prices on everybody, but now you're going to, take away any kind of federal assistance, which to me is really disturbing.
Well, and these are people that pay their income taxes.
For sure.
And you're against raising price, or you don't want to raise prices, but you also don't want to raise taxes on your wealthy friends. The morbidly, the obscenely wealthy.
But we are raising taxes, and it's slowly seeping into the public. As you always say, you go and your groceries are a little bit more expensive. It's happening.
Mhm.
People are now coming out looking forward to fall, saying, "Hey, I'm going to go in debt come fall." Back to school for a lot of parents. Your kids over the summer can grow an inch or two,
Yeah.
generally in height, especially with the new Trumpy rules. Nobody's overeating. But my point being, there's a lot of expenses in startup for fall to go back to school. You need new shoes, you need new clothes, maybe a lunchbox, etc. These tariffs are all going to start hitting that. And I know that Lutnick came out. Let me see where Lutnick is. He was downright giddy yesterday, laughing about the $250 million that were going to be given by Japan. Now, this isn't a trade deal. This is just Japan giving $550 million. I think it's 250. It's $550 million to Trump. And the whole idea is that he can invest it as he sees fit. It's at his directive. So it's important to whatever's important to America, national security. Big joke. Trump's going to dole out all that cash.
So you're giving the keys to the preschool to a pedophile, essentially, because giving money to Trump to dole out as he sees fits means it's all going to Trump and Trump's cronies.
Yeah,
nobody's going to see a penny of that.
Correct, but it gets Japan off the hook a little bit. Jeep is now losing $2.5 billion. We talked about GMC. I talked about already has lost $1 billion with this. But with the deal that Japan's making, Toyota's looking pretty good. Their stock was a giant. The shareholders in Toyota are going to be pretty happy. I'm sure our Congress is aware of this deal coming down before anybody. So I'm sure they got in, just like Palantir, who gets $6 billion in government contracts. And who knew about that first? Anybody in Congress, I would guess.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right.
I mean, the corruption is just, it's so in your face, and the rot is so deep.
And we talked about this earlier. It's not about wanting more for ourselves. You just want somewhat of a level playing field. You just want to have enough to be able to take care of your family. We've talked about in the past that you could have one family member working and be able to still go on a vacation in the summer and to have somebody at home to take care of the kids and afford groceries and such. I mean, right now, home prices are soaring. As we talked about, you're just not going to go out and be able to buy a house. The average house costs $435,000. We've seen the slowest pace since last September of mortgage rates being so high, as well as the median price of homes. Like, who can afford this? Not many.
Yeah, it's just insane, and it's all so unnecessary. I mean, maybe people don't want to hear it, but Kamala Harris had a plan. Kamala Harris and the Democrats had a plan for this. There are going to be laws against price gouging. There was going to be student loan relief. I mean, it's just, and I like to joke about this. I'd like to spend just a day in that universe where she won, because I bet it's a lot happier than the one we're actually living in, because this is ridiculous, and it's all self-imposed. You're rounding up with your masked Gestapo agents. You're rounding up innocent people. You're sending them to camps out in the woods where they're concentrated with inhuman subpar facilities. You're degrading them, making them eat off their knees and off paper plates with no utensils, no clean water. You're all doing this because why? Because you made a campaign promise? You already won. And I'm going to put that in air quotes because I still don't believe he did without the help of Elon Musk. I mean, somebody sent me another video of the fake assassination attempt.
Oh my God.
And it's so staged. I mean, you can see the strings. It's ridiculous. And somebody else had commented, this was a former military guy. It's like, that bullet fired from that rifle, passing that close to your ear is going to do damage. It's going to blow out your eardrums. It's going to leave a mark. No mark on this guy.
You're not going to have to go to the emergency room and demand a Band-Aid for your ear.
Sir, there's nothing there. I want a Band-Aid. Don't be nasty. I want a Band-Aid. I'm wounded. But again, all of it, why? And, and he was tanking up until that point, up until his little stunt.
I couldn't agree more.
And it was poorly done too. You should have called Spielberg or somebody to produce that, because it's a joke. It's so bad, so poorly done. It was like the Keystone fucking Cops. But again,
go ahead.
All of this, it's just at the whims of a narcissistic, dementia-riddled, total asshole. What are you doing? The 6 months that he's been in power, look at what we've seen here. Look at the damage that's been done to our country internationally, domestically, the suffering that we're seeing. It's insane. All on the whims of one guy.
This guy.
Yeah.
South Park really put a good one on him yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
Seen it. Take a look at it. They just got their deal from $1.5 billion from Paramount. And that was the season opener, season premiere, pretty entertaining. They really went after Trump's manhood, and I think they were spot on. One last thing I wanted to add to that camp of concentrated people. They have a new thing called the island where they put you in it overnight. You sleep on the floor. There's no water. And then they have a dim light at the ceiling, which illuminates a cross. Sounds really unnecessary and maybe a little over the top.
It sounds like the Spanish Inquisition.
You got to get your ideas somewhere, Billy.
That's just insane. I mean, wasn't there a document that said something about cruel and inhuman punishment? I don't know. Maybe that might be important. Maybe not.
Used to be a thing. Just to come back to the money rates, average rate on a 30-year mortgage is 7%. That was another reason why people weren't buying. What I wanted to add, and we talked about this before, was just the federal minimum wage. It's been 16 years since that's changed. It's at $7.25. If you adjusted it to workers' production, which we got away from in the 80s because we hated unions all of a sudden, but if it was tied to the workers' production, right now our minimum wage would be $25.52. Instead, you're getting a third of that, closer to a fourth of that, to do basically the same job. But at the same time, the ACA comes out, they're going to, with healthcare, the Affordable Care Act, 25 million people that are on it, their out-of-pocket expenses are going to go up 75% on average. And just to circle back, the new CEO from September of 2024 that was hired, Brian Nickel, he makes 6,666 times what his average worker makes. I think when he signed on, they gave him $97.8 million. Some of that's in stock options, of course, but the average worker makes 15 grand. There's
nobody's living that.
It's insane. And I don't know what the magic is of this guy's coffee knowledge, but I don't think he's making your coffee.
No, probably not. And honestly, if you want a really good cup of coffee for a couple of bucks, go to McDonald's.
Yeah, amazingly enough, yes.
People love like the sugary, calorie-laden drinks. They love the frothy frap with the Oreo cookies on top, which is great.
Sure.
Have at it. Get whatever you want. But dude, if you want real coffee, Starbucks is like maybe the third choice. I'm sure wherever you're, watching this from, I'm sure there's probably 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 way better local coffee houses you can go to.
And support local, as we always say. I think should be a priority. But you're right. And coffee prices are going to be going up as well.
Climate change, yeah, it's coming. It's coming for coffee, and that is really depressing.
Well, they're starting to make or looking at ways to make synthetic coffee.
Oh, God. Yeah, the Germans tried that in World War II. Ask them how much they enjoyed that ersatz coffee. You fill it in with wood chips. It's fine. Nobody knows the difference. Sawdust. It's a great thickener. It's great.
Well, our dear leader is going to be all over that, I guess. I had a couple other things that they were cutting. Not only did Columbia have to pay off the Trump administration $220 million so they can continue to educate our students, but he spent $160,000 to incinerate nearly $10 million worth of U.S. contraceptives that were in France. The UN, along with many family planning groups, wanted to buy it. Let us just buy it. Name your price, and they would ship it to poorer countries. But in the end, Trump said no.
That makes no sense. That is just this. It's just cruel and stupid. And it's like it's like the spoiled rich kid who gets all these great presents for his birthday and doesn't like any of them and just throws them all away instead of giving them to his friends. Here, take what you want. Just throws them all away.
Better to you not have them if I don't.
Yeah, I don't want anybody to have it. If I can't have it and I don't want it, it's not that I can't have it. I just don't want it, but I'm throwing it away. Nobody gets it.
But at the same time, we budgeted for Qatar to give us a 747 gifted, which is going to cost $400 million to modify. Kristi Noem got her new Gulfstream 4 luxury jet. The thing's amazing, by the way. And then the FBI.
How has she not been impeached?
I don't know. Maybe she'll go the way of Bondi, who now has Epstein bar, and she couldn't go to the prison today, which we're going to talk about in a couple of minutes here. And lastly, the FBI and the Department of Justice, they want a new jet. $72 million. It's like price isn't an option for you guys. Though Bondi did come out today and say that she didn't want that plane. It's going to happen. It's not just her. She's the top of that department, but nobody cares what she thinks. Meanwhile, we're raising taxes on the middle class. We're cutting Medicaid. School lunches have been decimated. Worker safety, who cares? And then we're just going to cut the education to pieces. So put your money into planes and luxury travel. And there's some good specifications on these planes. They need firm barriers. They need sleeping quarters. They need a place where you can get flat. Not just Delta's looking into that. Okay, buddy? It's unbelievable. It's like us going to somebody's house for Christmas and watching them open amazing gifts as we got some shitty sunglasses.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I'm just saying, and I love the people involved, but my point is I'd rather not watch it. And I feel like I'm watching it now.
Couldn't you have done that before we got there?
Please. I mean,
it's ridiculous. It is. It's exactly like that because the rest of us are now tighten your belts, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. We're making America great. Well, you're making America great for you and your cronies. You're not doing shit for us. You're destroying America, the America that, that we work for and that we count on. And, the America that we want to give to our children. And you're just destroying it. You're just trashing it. So your obscenely, morbidly wealthy friends can get even wealthier. Money, again, that they don't care about. It's like that kid at the birthday party with all these great presents. You have so much shit, you don't even care.
Yeah.
Your stack of money is so high. What's another couple million thrown on there? You're not going to notice it. It's not going to make any difference to you.
No, and while they're reaping all these benefits, the FDA is now banning access to fluoride supplements. That's next on the list. So they've already trying to take fluoride out of the water because they don't believe in that. Utah and Florida have already done it. HHS Kennedy just said, hey, get to the dentist, okay? Yeah, we'll have some more cavities, but keep going to the dentist, which generally isn't that easy for low-income families. So that's not super helpful. Lack of fluoride adds to, obviously, tooth decay and adds to emergency services, which is also not a great thing because it's like going to the emergency room. Wouldn't it be easier just to go to your dentist if possible? Or maybe, hey, leave my fluoride in my water. That might be easy. We've had other countries that went away from it and then came back to it because they were afraid of the effects on the lowest common denominator. I mean, not everybody is going to the dentist twice a year, and I'll just leave it at that. But
yeah,
they were like, hey, you can get supplements. Don't worry about it. Well, now you're taking that option away.
What about fluoride toothpaste? Can you still get that?
Well, they haven't talked about banning that yet, I guess, because you're not supposed to swallow it, but still.
Well, I did see something interesting, though, as an interesting sideline that hedge funds are starting to buy up dental practices now.
Oh, really?
Wonder why that is. Seems kind of out of the blue, right? I mean, they're buying up emergency departments and, urgent cares and practices.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're getting in the game and looks like business is going to be booming. I did see a video the other day that was kind of interesting. It was a middle-aged guy. And somebody was interviewing and he was bragging about how he hasn't brushed his teeth since he was like 6 years old and has never had a cavity. Wow. And so a dentist was on there and he's like, yeah, I honestly, I can't recommend not brushing your teeth, but there is a certain percentage of the population that are born with a bacteria that prevents cavities. So there are actually people out there that do not get cavities. He's like, what? Most of us, we get the whether from kissing your mom or your aunt, whatever, we get this bacteria that causes cavities from, whoever when we're young. But a certain percentage of people have this bacteria that they do not get cavities. So yes, that is a true statement. That is likely true for this gentleman. But still brush your teeth. Brush and floss.
Yeah, and no cavities doesn't mean that anybody wants to kiss that stinky trench mouth of yours, okay?
Yeah, maybe your gums don't look so great. Maybe your teeth are kind of yellow, and yeah, your breath smells like a sewer. But hey, you're saving 3 minutes a day, buddy.
Well, we've been using fluoride since I was a kid, so I feel like the pool of people that have taken on fluoride is a pretty good pool. But when it comes out to high levels of fluoride, this regime likes to associate that with lower IQ. or thyroid issues. So give me something a little bit more concrete if you're going to take it away. If you take it out of the water, I should have access to supplements. I don't think it's fair that you take that away. And in that same vein, the vaccine this year for COVID, which the rest of the world's been working on, but we're not part of that anymore, won't be available until fall. It's going to be approved for adults 65 plus and kids and adults with at least one medical condition. You know, good luck with that, because they may say that, hey, that's not a medical condition, you're not going to get the shot. To me, I find that very un-American, that I don't have a choice whether I want to protect myself. But they're certainly going to limit this, and it's not going to come out till fall. We're already dealing with COVID. I mean, let's be honest. But whatever.
Yeah, it's already running amok.
And part of the issue is, before you say anything, is that we're 6 months into this administration. We do not have a CDC director. So the vaccine recommendation that was approved was done by a lawyer, not a scientist, not a doctor, a lawyer. I mean, as you say, you can't make this shit up.
Really can't. These are not serious people.
They're not serious people, unless, as we talked about before, maybe it's more about thinning the herd. Stephen Miller would like to get down to 100 million Americans as opposed to 300 million. Might save on resources, might make the workforce work a little harder. I don't know.
Yeah, make the workforce work a little harder. Okay. All right, Stephen Miller, how much work actually do you do during the day besides throwing out your hate-filled ideas to, Peepaw, who's willing to do whatever you say? I mean, Jesus Christ.
He's not really listening either. Okay. So I don't know. It's just it's a little bit crazy that they're kind of restricting our access to things that can be life and death. I mean, COVID was killing people. So
yeah. The thing is, like, your true MAGA believers are the COVID vaccine anyway. You know, there's a sizable number of people out there that are vaccine deniers and won't get it. So, you know, let the rest of us that, actually want to get a vaccine against this, the choice.
Why not, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, if you have files on pedophiles, why not let them go? But it's not something we want to do either. And I tell you, the more video I see of Jeffrey Epstein and his laughing and just even the shape of his head make you just want to punch the guy in the face. I mean, he was such a disgusting person. Maxwell, Trump had that interview on, it was one of the networks, and it was a year ago, and said how he wished her the best. And she was a good person. She wasn't.
Whatever happened there.
She was going around looking at the schoolyard for girls and giving out the number for the modeling agency. I mean, look at this guy. Just fills me with rage, to be perfectly honest, that this is even acceptable. And don't tell me that they weren't buddies. Epstein's brother came out and said he dumped Trump because he got sick of Trump being just such a terrible person. And he knew that he was kind of a grifter himself. So gone. And then the Republicans today blocked out of committee the releasing of the Epstein files. Why?
Yeah, if you have nothing to hide, why are you fighting so from everybody? And people all across, people want to see it. The MAGA people want to see it. I mean, we all want to see it. Open it up. Let's see if you've got nothing to hide.
Yeah. Well, they'll say things like Clinton's in there. Well, good. Expose that. I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, it looks like Clinton's pretty chummy in that photo.
If he's a pedophile, whoever's on that list, if they're guilty of this, then bring it in. Sunshine kills rot. So let's see it. Expose it to the sunshine.
They're just floating everybody. They talked about John Kerry as well. And again, I will just say, if you're guilty, I don't care if you're Democratic, Republican, or independent. I mean, it's disturbing. I mean, we just saw in Alabama where you had a family that was using their kids for sex trafficking in like a storm shelter in Alabama. 2 of them were mothers, and these were kids ages 3 to 15, and it was extremely disturbing. And it's not a topic we're going to talk about. All I'm saying is, if you don't cut the head off the snake, if we don't expose this kind of stuff that's been going on forever, it's going to continue. And this was pretty horrific. And you'll be hearing more about it, I'm sure.
Yeah, because I mean, I think this is one issue that really unites people all across, from both sides of the aisle, whether you're MAGA, whether you're progressive. I mean, people do not like pedophiles. And, for all the bluster on the campaign trail that Trump made about bringing all this out and we're going to produce the lists. And, and it turns out his own DOJ told him, hey, you're on that list.
That we just found that out because he lied about that. And he didn't come out and say exactly that she didn't tell him. He just said, no. She was giving us updates and letting us know what was real and what was substantiated. And I think the whole interesting part that came out of this from start to finish is that at the beginning, before it was released, JD Vance went to Montana to Murdoch's house and they had a sit down about something. It was one night. He flew in, JD flew out. And then the next day, this stuff was released. And then today, within the last hour, Trump just ordered the DOJ to block JD Vance from gaining access to any of the Epstein files.
That's not incriminating at all, is it? And, and Trump happens to be suing Murdoch for $10 billion, billion with a B. And we'd speculated about this before, that at some point, they were going to topple Trump. They were going to throw him overboard. And, Vance was their guy. Vance was the guy that Musk wanted, that Peter Thiel wanted. Yeah, this was the guy. They handpicked him. Trump didn't want him. And, we've all seen the video of Vance earlier. Donald Trump is America's new Hitler. Donald Trump is a nut job. Donald Trump is this. I would never vote for Donald Trump. And yet, Peter Thiel wanted him, put him on the ticket. And so I think it's just, it's going to be really interesting to see what's happening. But, Trump is so thin-skinned. So the fact that Vance has gone off to meet with Murdoch, probably behind Trump's back, and now Vance is locked out of any access to this, that definitely raises some questions. It's going to be interesting to see. But, maybe Trump should hire someone to take those a food tape.
And this just happened too in the last 2 hours. They met with Maxwell. As I said, Bondi's taking some time away with her medical issue, whatever that may be. Epstein Barr, again, isn't something that you it's
you can't make that up. William Barr and Jeffrey Epstein I mean, not to make light of Epstein because it's a serious thing.
But it's not something you just came down with yesterday, is all I'm saying. So the Deputy Attorney General Blanche, who happened to be Trump's personal attorney at one point, is the one that met with her today. Now, he also met with Maxwell's attorney, who's friends with this attorney. So they know each other. In fact, the person Maxwell has representing her is who Trump wanted originally to represent him. So it's way too close. There were no witnesses. There's no recording of this session. And most people speculate that they'll probably put her into a nice little suite in the jail. She'll have access to Amazon to get anything she wants. And if she can wait 9-10 months for shit to blow over, she'll get her full pardon. We'll see. I don't know that that's going to be acceptable to either of the political parties, but
I don't think so. I think
right now, the Republicans are backing him. The clown from Oklahoma just came out and said, we're going to give him some time to cover himself, type of thing. Like,
yeah, cover up.
Yeah, don't be saying that stuff out loud, dumb.
He's already painted himself into a corner, though.
That it didn't happen, that he didn't do this?
Yeah, so I don't know. And, Mike Johnson has reverse course, of course, because that's what Mike Johnson does. He's, his mouth is permanently attached to us. He changed his tune pretty quickly from earlier in the week where he thought everything should be released. So, if there's nothing to see here, why are you working so hard? Why are you willing essentially to shut down the government and go on vacation?
41 days.
Yeah. Why are you willing to do that for a real nothing burger, as you say?
Well, Johnson said yesterday that he feels like these files were in the hands of the Biden administration, and maybe they did some funny stuff with those files. It's got to be Biden. I mean, 2 days ago, it was Obama, treason. Then when they were like,
Obama.
Roberts rule won't let us prosecute him because he was a president. You know
Hmm.
what? Today it was Biden, 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 Biden.
Biden was
So,
a president too.
well, they're not asking about treason. They're just saying he fudged these numbers and made up some shit.
Yeah, with his auto pen.
Trump did say that too, man. That's just classic.
Yeah, I mean, they really look like they're flailing. So I think at this point, if you're buying any of this bullshit, then you really are a cult member. You drank the Kool-Aid and asked for more. But I think people are asking questions.
And I really hope so. Um, I had this for the day that I had Tim out. It was Saturday, and I told you I wanted to talk about it. I'm not going to go into it too deeply, but I do find that it's somewhat relative right now. It was about the Catholic Church, and it was about Trump's desire to not have priests forced to turn over pedophiles or child abusers from confession. In fact, he doesn't want them to have to say anything at all. My question when I was talking to Tim would have been, it's the separation of church and state. So the Department of Justice says that it deprives Catholic priests of their fundamental right to freely exercise their religious beliefs under the First Amendment. That doesn't sound great to me.
So
They can
pedophilia is a
they
right
can
under the
talk if
First
it's
Amendment.
not in confessional, but if it's in confessional, they're not allowed to say it. Now, if you're a priest and you've done all the legwork to become one, kudos to you and all, but it would directly violate their sacramental seal, and they would automatically be excommunicated and risk eternal damnation. Which that's the religious side of it. But
Mm.
I live on the law side. I can't just say, "Hey, these are my beliefs. I did this training. I did this, that, and the other." But it's okay because I could be get eternal damnation. So give me some slack. I just don't see how it fits, and I don't see how it's acceptable. If you heard it and you know it, and somebody's being abused, you should be able to go to law enforcement. But now we have this pedophile ring, so maybe it ties to that sort of thing.
I wouldn't be surprised. It'll be interesting to see where the new pope falls in on this because
There's no way he would back this in a
I don't think
million.
he would either. I really don't. Um, but and there's nothing new about these pedophilia rumors. I mean, they go back to the Reagan White House
Yeah,
in the 80s. I mean, this is this is nothing novel or nothing new. This has some deep roots.
for sure. I mean, the first kid that was on a milk carton was the paper boy from Iowa, and it turned out that he was brought. Well, it's alleged that he was brought into the White House. Now, by then,
Mhm.
Reagan was out of his mind. Janie Dixon, or the astrologer, was basically calling the shots for us.
Yeah.
But HW was in the building, and I'm sure he went to bed with his old lady pretty early. But pages were bringing in young boys and stuff. There was a lot of really weird stuff.
A lot of
We
weird
already know
shit.
about those Republican retreats where two men go into a coffin and stuff. I mean, it's just bizarre stuff, but none of it's really appropriate. None of it should involve children. If you're man on man love, I don't have a problem with whatever you choose to do, but leave children out of this, please.
Yeah. And I mean, and how many Republican politicians have you seen busted for pedophilia? How many religious figures have you seen busted for pedophilia?
Sure,
I mean, these people are the biggest hypocrites.
they really are. But
Yet they want to go after, the LGBTQ community. They're all, they're just
and those
horrible
are
people.
adults using their free choice to love who they want to and spend time with who they want to. It really shouldn't have anything to do with your laws, especially if you're going to let religion come in and be like, hey, they don't have to talk because he'll be condemned to hell forever.
Yeah. I mean, these
Great.
people are just, they're such hypocrites and just generally awful people.
Pretty terrible. I just wanted to. I really would have liked to have heard Tim's take on that. I did kind of run out of time, but you see where my issue is that it's blending our legal system with religion and
Which,
separating
yeah,
church and states.
again,
Where we start.
yeah, again, that document, what was that document? Something about
It's in
separation of
Trump's
church and
office.
state?
He still thinks it's the real one. That last administration. This Oval Office looks a lot better, doesn't it? Oh, look at this place. I got the Constitution here. Not that they cared about that.
Somebody put up a side-by-side picture of Epstein's living room and Trump's Oval Office, and they look similarly familiar.
Crazy, huh?
Isn't that
He,
crazy?
he probably did the interior design for him, right?
Yeah. Oh, Jeff, this is a great room, but you need more gold. You got to put gold on everything, Jeffrey. Otherwise, it's just nasty looking.
Reminds me of that Sopranos where he was like an interior decorator.
His apartment looked like shit.
Classic. I
Did
am
you
still
know?
loving those Sopranos with the cartoon, but go ahead.
I just saw this today. There was only one episode of The Sopranos that Carmela wasn't in.
Oh, really? Pretty impressive.
Yeah, just one. Do you know which episode it was?
I would guess it was when they were in Italy, but he probably talked to her on the phone.
Yeah, no, it was. I think it was season 3. It was an episode called "Where's Johnny," and it was the one where Uncle June wandered off,
Okay.
and Tony and Janice got into a fight. I think it was, and it was also the episode where Janice had to go to anger management.
Huh. And no
Really good
Carmela.
episode. Really good episode. But yeah, no Carmela in that one. The only
Interesting.
one.
Well, I had no idea, but she was quite a character herself.
Hmm.
I'm going to put this up. It's the Kennedy Center. Uh, I have a local rep here, Missouri Rep Bob Onder, and he thought it would be a great idea to do this amendment to the Interior Department. It's a government-funded bill with the stipulation that the Kennedy Center Opera House must be renamed First Lady Melania Trump Opera House
Oh God.
if they want to receive federal funds. If you don't, then forget it. But we're going to rename the Kennedy Center after Melania, who was a Einstein visa winner for some reason. Was it architecture? What exactly was she doing?
I thought she helped out with splitting the atom, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just I
Well,
don't
that
know.
would
She
make
knew how
more
to swallow.
sense. The interesting part of this is that resonated for about 48 hours. But there is a federal law that prohibits renaming anything in the Kennedy Center without going into too much detail. But it was a subchapter 5, section B1 that says the board assured after December 2nd of 1983 that they cannot add plaques or memorials designated or installed in public places at the JFK Center for Performing Arts, period.
Oh,
So
good.
I know, excuse me, I know Bob had this great idea to maybe get on Trump's good side, but maybe look into the law a little bit. I mean, you're supposed to be a congressman in Missouri. I don't know where the Kennedy Center falls under that. Maybe you were looking for an appointment in Trump's third term, but do your research. I mean, you look ignorant. You look like you're wasting Missouri's time as you're taking away utility money for low-income people, but we have time to look into the Kennedy Center, which seems to be just fine unless Trump shows up and then gets booed, or Vance.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. It is just
It's
it's nuts.
infuriating,
It is
honestly.
infuriating. I mean, you know what? You let her dig up the rose garden at the White House. Isn't
They
that
made it
enough?
look like Mar-a-Lago. And if you look at a photo of those 3 flags, it looks ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah,
great idea, boss.
that was disturbing as well. But all of these Republican sycophants, they just they'll do and say anything to get on Trump's good side.
It's sad, but
But
you're
yeah,
not doing the work of your constituents. You're not looking out for your constituents. We have this now. You tell me that this heat thing's going to be here for another at least a week.
yeah, the
They
heat
told us
dome.
they told us the next 2 days, starting yesterday. It would be hard to be homeless. It would be hard to work outdoors continually. An 8-hour day in this kind of heat, you better be hydrating. But my point is, we need to do better for the people that are going to work every day. We
Hmm.
underpay them. We don't give them health care, and we show great indifference to what they bring to our nation. And it's just
Well,
unacceptable. Instead, we're rounding up people. I don't care if you're a citizen or not. This guy looked kind of brown. I saw a video today, a guy smoking in a park in DC. 3 guys came out in an unmarked black car and they hauled him away as the woman filmed it because she was like, he was sitting on the bench next to me, a white woman, and he whipped out a blunt, no big deal. And she was like, I see it all the time. She comes and has her lunch at the park a lot. And they just hauled him off. No questions asked. They wouldn't answer anything that she had to question why they're hauling her off. Who are you people? Didn't really say.
Yeah.
The car was unmarked. She did get a license plate. But my point is, these guys are spending all this time with cosplay. And it's really annoying because it's really not productive for the average person. Maybe it's great acoustics for Trump and being tough and this, that, and the other. But as a nation, it makes us look really bad.
Yeah, it does. And it's horrifying. I mean, this is like Gestapo level shit where you have these people, masked idiots with no badges or anything, jumping out of unmarked cars, hauling off innocent people. I mean, there's a cameraman for CNN that's been hauled away. I think he's been held for like 30 days now. A Hispanic gentleman who's a naturalized citizen. And he was hauled up because he was filming a protest, doing his job.
Yeah.
A legal citizen doing his job. I mean, this is disturbing. It's beyond annoying. This is horrifying because, again, as we've said, it can happen to anybody now.
Well, and Trump came out today and did say that, in fact, we got some bad hombres in this country and they're citizens, but we need
Yeah, and a lot of them are sitting in positions of power in the GOP and in the White House. Yeah, there are some bad hombres. You got that right, Peepaw.
Well, he'd rather round up all the bad people because he went back to the story. They'll, hit you over the head. I mean, it's the same old retreaded stories that he made up in the past, and they seem to resonate with a guy who's losing his mind.
Well, I wonder if people are less concerned about the border now and more concerned about seeing what's in those Epstein files.
Well, the border's been fine. The wall that he put up wasn't really a thing. The money that he grifted from it.
Him and Steve Bannon.
Yeah, Steve Bannon raised all that cash, and he did some jail time for that.
Not enough, in my opinion, but yeah, he did some.
Couldn't agree more.
And again, you're just working on fulfilling some bullshit campaign promise you made. And I think he just gets a lot of joy out of it. I think this guy just likes to see people hurt, people's lives upended, and people made miserable. He's a truly twisted, narcissistic, detestable human being.
Well, and he's losing his mind, so it's just not really. It's a pretty horrific combination.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's literally a mad king.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a whole lot of restraint, as we talked about, which is another problem. There's no guardrails with this guy. But I do feel like people are seeing it a little bit more, which is obviously the key to getting this started, is to kind of see that the emperor is not wearing any clothes, so to speak.
Yeah, and he's got a tiny tool.
Well, don't spoil it.
I did see something really interesting, though. It was an article, I think it was either on Slate or Salon. It may have been on Salon. Basically about, it was entitled, Don't Be Afraid of That Man Behind the Curtain. And it was just talking about how, kind of like the Wizard of Oz, you had a little man on a stool pulling all the levers who everybody was afraid of, but it was comparing it to the Roberts Court, essentially the Supreme Court. It compared the Supreme Court to the red panda, which is the small bear that makes itself appear bigger to threaten people and to threaten other animals and intimidate. And the Supreme Court is kind of doing that because basically they're trying to make themselves look bigger, be afraid of that man behind the curtain when their only power comes from the power that we give them. So we are the people, we are the true panda bear in this equation, and we're making ourselves look smaller in deference to this little red panda that's trying to, claim all this legitimacy and intimidate us. And it's not the case. That we can push back. We can call our representatives, we can write op-eds, we can protest. That the power that they think they have, or that they're pretending to have, they're just, it's just John Roberts sitting on a stool behind a curtain with his sycophants.
They're not even writing reasons to why they're ruling stuff. They're just basically
exactly, and they're infuriating the liberal justices who are doing a great job of calling it out. So I thought that was really interesting, though. So just keep in mind that we the people have the power over them. It's these nut jobs, grifters, Alito, Clarence Thomas, who never should have been there. I still blame Biden for that.
Tony Barrett wasn't super qualified. Yeah.
Not super qualified, and again, we can go over, Ruth Bader Ginsburg should have stepped down when she knew she was sick with cancer. I mean, come on. You're not going to live forever. You did a great job, but you know when it's time to go.
Listen, we lost 4 Democratic House members died that really skewed how votes went down.
Yeah. So, but the upshot is that, they're trying to, enforce their power when the big thing is we give them that power. They're intimidating us and, maybe they don't get to do that. We should be not intimidating them, but, standing up and flexing our power.
Well, we got to get the numbers. That's the key. I mean, that's the whole reaching across your political affiliation or to independence to make sure that we agree on something so that we're not all getting screwed. As we tear each other apart, these guys are just laughing and taking the cash. And that's all they want anyway. It's nothing about us. Environment be damned, your civil liberties, who cares? Your health, whatever.
Yeah, they don't care.
Pretty much. And I think we're seeing that every day. Every day it's something new. And the tariffs really, people, the stock market is what Trump wants to talk about. That's not for everybody. That's not a signal that things are okay. It means that the shareholders are doing okay. It means that the CEOs are doing okay. It doesn't mean we're doing okay. That's your stock price isn't getting me healthcare. It's not getting me, safer streets. It's not getting those giant holes on the street filled. It's not doing anything. Yeah. It's not getting those springs off the road either. Okay, tire killers.
1 in a million shot. That was crazy.
Yeah, not thrilled with that, but I figured I would work that in. I did have.
I'm just glad you have quick reflexes on your braking foot.
Yeah, that was an accident, but we're not going to go into that.
Was it?
I say nothing on the record. You should watch where you're standing.
Probably so. But you do have a rearview mirror.
You did have a witness, but we quieted him down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
By driving off fast. I wanted to pop up a couple of happy endings. I thought that the Kennedy Center was one of my happy endings, but Kilmar Garcia was released from jail before his trial, which was something that Bondi said the minute he was released, ICE would pick him up and they would deport him. As it turns out, that's not really a thing. He was released by a judge until trial, which is awesome. But as soon as he was released, a second judge blocked his immediate arrest from ICE and deportation. So I think he might actually get to go home, see his family, and then he'll face trial, which nobody ever had a problem with that. But both judges said that the prosecutors didn't prove any of what they've talked about with him. There's no evidence to support holding him.
It's ridiculous.
It was on his knuckles, but was it?
And we never heard a thing about the hairdresser or the makeup artist. That poor guy.
No, you're absolutely right.
I'm assuming he's no longer with us, which is that's a crime. I mean, they murdered that guy.
The people leaving there said that the idea is that the people that have spoken to the people that are there, the whole idea is that you never leave. Mm-hmm. That's the goal. You stay down there, and Trump made a deal, and that's what the deal is. So the deal is they take anybody and anybody, and you do what you want with them as long as they're not here, and we can put a number count on it. It's just very, very un-American.
It is.
I have a couple other things that I thought were kind of happy endings.
Okay.
Tesla had their steepest decline in quarterly sales ever. Well, at least in the last decade. So they're not sure why.
Really?
So they say.
No idea. I don't know what could be going wrong here.
I know, right? And then lastly, Uber they're allowing female drivers and passengers to stop or to make appointments to be picked up by the same sex. So if you're a female driver, you can be on the schedule to pick up only women. If you're a passenger, you can request a female driver. And granted, it helps to in advance to get your reservation to get a car. But they're trying to do this woman only thing because they've had enough complaints and we've had enough lawsuits of male drivers taking advantage of female passengers or even murder.
Yeah. Well, that's good to see. I'm glad. Finally.
I was like, I'd kind of like to have that right to not be in a creepy guy's car. And they were like, you don't get that right. Yeah. Sorry, fella. But I'm happy for the ladies if it puts their mind at ease on both sides, the driver and the passenger. That to me
Yeah.
is a progressive step in the right direction to keeping people safe, which is what our government's supposed to be all about, but we're not really doing
Yeah,
that.
we're not doing that. But I every time I've ridden with a female Uber driver, they're always on the phone with somebody. They
Oh, smart.
stay in contact with somebody. Somebody's on there, and you can make small talk with them and chat, but somebody's listening. Somebody's aware of where they are and who's in the car with them. So I think that's a good
And
thing.
there's, and I think we all know the reason why they had to do that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, it's a crazy world, man. People are nuts.
Well, and it just didn't start, but we're kind of intensifying it or accepting of it or hold my beerish, if you want to use it that way. I wanted to point out that and no hate on the Gators by any means, but the 2008 Florida Gators won the national championship. They had 41 players on that roster have been arrested. 1 in 3 of those spent time in jail. Can you
And
name
one killed himself in jail.
Can you name the head coach?
Urban Meyer.
Yeah, and why was he fired in Jacksonville?
Because he was terrible at his job, and he. I mean, can you imagine after they played a Thursday night game, got their asses whooped, and he decided to stay in Ohio?
Unheard of. The coach doesn't
Unheard
play
of.
him.
I mean, the coaches look at film as soon as they get on the plane. As soon as the wheels are up, they're on their laptops looking at the game film. And this guy, heading into your mini bye week after a Thursday, decides to not only stay in Ohio, but he's groping up some young woman.
Doing the white man's overbite.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, dude. And they knew what was going on with
Hernandez.
yeah, they knew what was going on, and he sent Tim Tebow to talk to him.
Great.
I mean, yeah, that was insane.
Yeah, the worst thing that ever happened to Hernandez was the fact that he went to Florida early. He had that whole summer down there. His brother thought he should have stayed up in Connecticut.
Yeah.
It's just too much. Good-looking guy, athletic, successful in sports, and you're going to let him run loose down there?
Well, yeah, I mean, he went down there as a 17-year-old, right?
Yeah.
He went down early before his class even graduated.
Yeah.
And this kid, and he had an abusive dad, but it was also an important figure in him and his brother, the lives of him and his brother. It kind of kept them on track. And when his dad died, they had, their mom was nuts.
She didn't do him any favors. Yeah.
No, she sounded like a really terrible person. And then to send this kid down there into that environment where you can do pretty much whatever you want to, you're
He could have gone to
bigger
school. He could have gone to school with his brother. He could have stayed
Yeah.
up north. He would have had a better influence. You go to South Florida, man, all bets are off.
Well, especially in a culture like that where you can do whatever you want to. You're bigger and stronger than everybody.
And you're a
pretty much.
Gator.
Yeah. It's great to be a Florida Gator. But yeah, that was a shame. And then
For sure.
dude, that offense with him and Gronk was unstoppable.
Yeah, pretty amazing. And that, again, he didn't fall into the right coaching situation in the NFL either, honestly.
Yeah, I think a lot of things were overlooked. And if you watch any of that stuff, if you watch that documentary on Apple Plus about the Patriots dynasty years, guys had questions. Players steered clear of him. He did some weird shit. He would masturbate in the meeting rooms.
He's calling Belichick daddy and stuff. That's just weird.
Showing up for walkthroughs in his flip-flops. I mean, just the dude had problems. And I guess, when they did the autopsy, he had a horrible case of CTE. I mean, his brain was just ravaged. It was not right.
Yeah. Well, we don't talk about that either. We don't talk about football players and the damage that's done. And then we don't take care of them. We give them the old Stephen Miller. Let's just hope that they die.
Yeah. Well, and it's ironic too. It's interesting. Like you'll see clips from football when, head-to-head hits were more common and not penalized. And, there's always the guys commenting, when football was real, when the real men played, like, buddy, you wouldn't last 2 seconds on that. You wouldn't last one play.
Well, and those hits are
field.
impressive for sure. They're hitting high. But the athletes were a little bit different, not to take anything away. Obviously, it's generational. These guys are stronger, faster, bigger at that rate of speed. So you may not be getting hit in the head, but you're getting hit anywhere. It's all real football. Don't kid yourselves.
Yeah, it is. And for anybody to say, well, the game's not as tough as it once was. Listen, those guys in the 70s and 80s, they played on horrible artificial turf. It was like carpet over concrete. Yeah, those guys were tough.
Yeah.
You look at how long, like the guys from the Steeler dynasty, the years that they played and how amazingly durable they were until they started breaking down. Yeah, they were tough. They were tough guys. It was a tough game. But at the same time, 300 pounders were rare.
That's true.
As human beings, we've just evolved more. And somebody made a comment to Jack Ham, the great all-pro linebacker, and he played at maybe 220, 225. Was up there with Lawrence Taylor, though. He could cover, he could rush, stop the run. Jack Ham was amazing. And they said, hey, Jack, you probably couldn't play these days. He's like, and he got a little bit annoyed. He's like, you know what? He's like, I would have beefed up. I would have, grown with the game. He's like, I could have played in any era. So, but you watch these guys. These guys are amazing athletes. It's a fast game. They hit hard, and there's nothing soft about it. Nobody out there is soft. So yeah, the fake
Just
tough
the
guys
guy
behind
on
there.
the couch watching and judging. Yes.
Yeah.
But-
So Trump can call it out. I want old time football, but buddy, I'm
Whatever.
telling you,
He's a clown. Stick to your own problems, buddy.
Yeah.
On that note, you and I will be taking a couple sessions off. We will not be here Saturday or Tuesday. Try and come back for a week from today. So hopefully you'll get a little R&R. And I would say maybe a break from this, but not bloody likely.
well, we're gonna
And
try.
I'll still talk to you.
Yeah, well, we'll keep an eye out and we'll see what's up, and maybe we'll do some posting on Blue Sky and maybe Twitter. Put some stuff
For
out
sure.
there. But yeah,
And hopefully next week we'll bring Tim in and try and get some thoughts from him on. I'm sure we'll still be talking about this pedophilia issue.
yeah, that would be awesome. Tim was a ratings magnet. Tim, views were way up with Tim.
Yeah, well, we'll see if we can beg him to come back. I don't know.
Well, we'll see.
Not really.
He might want to
He's all in,
renegotiate his
buddy.
contract, so we'll see.
Yeah, well, we'll start with trying to get him on one time and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, Rose, you enjoy your break, and we'll catch up later today.
All right, sounds good, buddy. You too. Nice job.
You too. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. See ya.